Welcome to another video on SRID Cloud. In this short video, I want to talk about how to set up a multi-node Kubernetes cluster. In my previous videos, I talked about CRC, the code-ready container, which is a product from Red Hat that can be used to set up a single node Kubernetes cluster. The node that acting both as master as well as worker node. But in this video, let's expand on that and not to use CRC, but use the regular Kubernetes itself from the community. And in this video, I will talk about how to set up the master nodes and worker nodes and how to connect them together into a Kubernetes cluster. So let's get started. So Kubernetes cluster is comprising of a master node and also many worker nodes based on your need. You can also have multiple master nodes and along with multiple worker nodes. So it's up to your requirements. So the master node is otherwise called control plane as well, because this is from where the cluster is controlled basically. So in this diagram, which is very simple, there is a master node and there are a bunch of worker nodes connected to it, and this is exactly what we are going to set up now. So what are the steps needed to set this up? You need at least one master node, a computer, or it can be a virtual machine, or it can be anything. The underlying infrastructure does not matter at all. You can create this VM on any of your favorite hypervisors like VMware Workstation or the IBM Power VM or KVM on Linux or Amazon Web Services on cloud or on the Microsoft cloud or on the Google Cloud platform, anything, whatever be the underlying infrastructure does not matter. So you will need a bunch of computers or VMs. It can be bare metal computers as well. If you have a bunch of computers in your environment, you can wire them together into an Ethernet switch or a hub, and you can create a private network as well and treat one or many of those computers as master nodes. So you will need at least one master node computer. And along with that, the worker node computers. That is the first step, and you have to make sure the operating system is installed on those things and they are working properly, and they are also talking to each other appropriately using the IP address. And it's preferable to have static IP addresses on them so that when you reboot your computer, the IP addresses do not change. But Kubernetes also recommends and relies upon the host names. So you have to set up proper DNS entries on these nodes so that the nodes can talk to each other through the host names instead of less reliable IP addresses in case if you set these systems with a DHCP. So after the DNS entries are set up, make sure they talk to each other and so on using host name. Ping test will be a good idea. And on all these nodes, then you should turn off the swap. The Kubernetes recommends no swapping of files or swapping of data. There's a way to do that, and I will show. And then install Docker on all these nodes, master and worker nodes. And then install the HTTPS transport so that they can talk to each other and talk outside securely. And then install the GPG key so that you can install the Kubernetes components appropriately. And then you need to set up the Kubernetes repository. So in my case, this will be a Ubuntu operating system environment. So the apt configuration needs to be set up properly so that when you install something, it can come from the Kubernetes repository. And then finally install the Kubelet, Kubeadm, and then Kubectl applications on all nodes, master nodes and worker nodes. And then on the master node, you need to install the Calico network so that communication can be established between worker nodes and the master nodes. And you need to initialize the Kubernetes cluster. So once the Kubernetes cluster is initialized successfully, the Kubernetes cluster will be up and running with only one node, the master node. You need to add worker nodes to the cluster. So then you switch over to the worker nodes, and using the Kubeadm join command, you can join those worker nodes into the cluster. And then on the master node, you need to label the worker nodes as worker nodes. And with that, the cluster will be available for you to consume. You can start developing applications and install them on the nodes and so on. So now let's get to the details and of all these items one by one, and then see how it works. So here is my master node computer. In my case, I have only one master node computer and a bunch of other worker node computers. So here is my master node computer. Let me log into it. And the first step is to make sure you run the sudo apt get update. And make sure the software environment is up to date. And then the second step is to install the Docker. And you do that with this command. So in my case, the Docker was already installed, but this is how you execute the Docker IO install. And then you need to enable the Docker service so that during restarts, the Docker service will automatically start. And you do that with this command. So this will enable the Docker service so that during restarts it will automatically start. It's already done in this environment. And then you run the sudo apt get update again. Make sure all the dependencies and the latest software is up and running installed. And then you need to install the transport, the HTTPS transport. And you do that with this command, and I will also be installing the curl command as well. So with this command, the apt transport HTTPS and also the curl. So these two have to be installed. They are already installed on the system. And then you need to make sure the GPG key is set up in this environment, and you do that with this command. So this will make sure, let me close this and make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, so this will make sure the apt key is downloaded and installed, GPG key is downloaded and installed from the cloudgoogle.com. This is a precursor for installing the Kubernetes node. And finally, you need to add this line in a new file called kubernetes.list under hc apt sources.list.d and create this file called kubernetes.list and add this line in it, the db http apt kubernetes.io kubernetes xenial main. So this is the latest version of Kubernetes as far as I know. And after this, you run the apt get update again, so that any dependency or latest code is downloaded and installed. And now it's ready to install the Kubernetes components. Kubelet, and then Kubeadm and Kubectl. So all these three are already installed on this master node, but this is how you would install them. They're already there. So once this is done, your environment, the master node at least, has all the software that is needed. And the next step is to enable the Kubelet service, and you do that with systemctl enable kubelet.service. So this will make sure the kubelet is started whenever you started automatically whenever you restart master node for some reason. And now is the next and probably the final step on the master node to initialize the Kubernetes software, the cluster. And you do that with this command. So this command will create the pod network 192.168.182.0.8, and the API service will be advertised on the local system. The IP address of the local system is on this master node is 192.168.182.129. This is the IP address of this system we are in right now. So this will run for a few minutes and then will print out the most importantly the join command, the command that you have to use on the worker nodes to join them to the master node. So which I will show you that in a moment when we go to the worker nodes. And after this you need to run this command to set up the kubeconfig. And this is very important, otherwise you have to pass this information whenever you run any kubectl command. So kubeconfig is set to hc-kubernetes-admin.conf. The admin.conf file will be automatically created under hc Kubernetes by the previous step of installing kubeadmin and things like that. So now let's go to the worker node and join the worker node to the cluster. So here is my worker node computer, and here I will install I will go through all the steps again from the beginning, installing the Docker IO and installing the apt transport HTTPS, whatever we saw so far, whatever we did on the master node until initializing the kube cluster, until before sudo kubeadm init. Whatever we did on the master node, we need to repeat all those things on the worker node, but do not initialize the cluster from the worker node. There's no need to do that. And now here is the command that you have to use to join the worker node into the master cluster. So this command line, you don't have to type all these things out. On the master node, when you initialized the Kubernetes cluster, one of the line in the output will be this one, the token and the discovery CA cert hash will all be in it. So you have to just copy paste it, store it somewhere safely, and then use this command line on each and every worker node that you have set up to join them to the master cluster. So on this system is already done. So with this, the cluster and worker nodes will be ready for you to use, basically. I may have missed something in the master node. So before you join worker nodes into the cluster, you need to make sure you install the Calico network, and you do that with this command on the master node. So this will make sure the Calico network is set up, the pod network is set up appropriately in this environment. So this is required before you join the worker nodes into the cluster. And then, most importantly, on the master node, you have to label the worker nodes as workers. So if you, at this point, if you do sudo kubectl get nodes, it is supposed to show all the nodes, including the master. But look at the roles column, they will be empty. In this environment, I already labeled these worker nodes appropriately, but otherwise, before you label them, they all will be empty, and many applications will look for worker role for worker nodes. So you need to do this particular command on the worker on the master node, to label them as worker nodes. So in this example, the worker node 2 has been labeled as worker. So as you can see in my environment, I have about 7 computers. One of them is a master node, the all others are worker nodes, and they're all set up appropriately. But look at the status column, the 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are not ready. That means they are all shut down right now. I wanted to show you specifically. So when you shut down any of the worker node, then on the master node, when you run sudo kubectl get nodes, the status of them will show as not ready, and so they will not participate in the cluster operations. If there is any application running on those worker nodes, they will not be functional. So you need to make sure they are all up and running. The worker nodes are all up and running. And the same thing will happen if you shut down the Kubelet service on the worker nodes. If you shut them down for some reason, then also they will show up as not ready on the cluster, on the master node. So this is how you set up the nodes and also create the cluster. So let me show you one more final thing. I'm going to run the same get nodes again with wide format, and let me minimize this a little bit and extend the video. Okay, so in this format you can also see the IP addresses of each node which is somewhat useful sometimes to figure out what exactly is happening network wise in your environment. So I hope you enjoyed this video and got an idea on how to set up Kubernetes on multiple nodes rather than just one node, which is very simple and sometimes not very useful if you want to test some complicated applications. You may want to run some applications on many worker nodes instead of just only one. So thanks for joining, and I will be producing a lot more videos on Kubernetes and OpenShift in the near future, and I will see you all in the next video.